Hello everyone, almost Shabbat Shalom. Welcome to this corner in one of the canyons here. Just a reminder of how we are connected. Just look at nature. Just look at nature. We remember how we're connected, how we come together. If we can just merge ourselves and synchronize ourselves with all creation, wouldn't all that be so? It's almost like a miracle, right? Well, I'm here at this, trying to find every time different places to come and to share with you information and to exchange with you energies, because although we're not sitting in front of one another, there is a transmission, live or not live, because we're all connected, and we're all connected on this level that is not seen with our physical eyes. But there's the sun. Sun is good. So I'm trying to cover that antenna there with my head, but anyway. Miracles. We are in the beginning, in the head of the month of Nisan. The head of the beginning of Nisan, which is actually, in Judaism, is the first month of the year. It is the first month of the year. In the name Nisan, the name Nisan itself in Hebrew, it comes from the word Nitzan, and Nitzan is the seed as it's or a bud or a flower just before it opens, even before the stages before it becomes a flower, as it starts opening up, the flower starts showing the first edge of a leaf. So that's Nitzan. That is in the root of the word Nisan. And the root of the word Nisan, when it means like that, it is this month that has this great energetic time to shift and to change. Not that any other time is not good, not at all. But because of the different implications, different hints to this month, astrologically, Kabbalistically, other places and other pointers that are pointing to this month. This month is really a great an opportunity to open up, to start new things, to shift. And many times when we're starting new things, there is a fear. There is a fear of, is it going to succeed? Am I going to succeed? I mean, I didn't succeed until now. Is it going to change now? Is it going to create some kind of a movement? Is it going to, many times we start and somebody tells us something, oh, come on, you're just starting. There's so much to do. I can share with you that I started so many projects in my life and finished many of them. And some of the reasons that I didn't finish some of them is because of these difficulties in beginnings. Later on, they were finished. But in the beginning, there is always this temptation. There's always this temptation of the amount, the quantity, the intensity. What would others say, especially if it is something that is out of your comfort zone? And this is really so great to do things that is out of our comfort zone. Because when we do things that are out of our comfort zone, we discover ourselves even more. We discover so much about ourselves, so much about our limitations, so much about what we believe that our limitations are. And so this month there is a great opportunity, a great time to start new things, to spring new beginnings, to look at all the connections that you have, at all your relationships, and see what relationships work for you and what relationship doesn't work for you. And where is this drawing to the month of Nisan comes from about this trust the beginning, trust the process, trust everything that you start. This is really what we're talking about all the time. Really to trust your process, to trust that everything that you do is here for you. Everything that you are experiencing is an opportunity for you to start new things and to be in a new place, to be in the place where you want to be in the place where you wish to be, not hindered by any words that other people say, not not dependent on anybody, but dependent only on you and your beliefs. The two facets, you and your beliefs. So we're talking about a relationship. It is all a relationship. We're not talking about necessarily about relationship between others, but a relationship to ourselves. Taking care of ourselves first before we take care of others. So I have to drink water before I continue. Right? So we have to take care of others before we take care of others. We have to take care of ourselves before we take care of others. Because if we cannot take care of ourselves, we won't be able to take care of others. And to illustrate that, think about when you go up on an airplane and you're being instructed to put your mask on first. When, if God forbid, there is any emergency, put your mask on first and then somebody who needs help. Why? Because if you cannot help yourself, you'll pass out. You won't be able to help the other person. So it is the time of helping yourself. So month of Nisan, as a month of beginning, has a lot of opportunity, has a lot of great energy flow at this particular month. And there is also the potential with that energy flow that that there is temptation to not follow through, to not finish. And that is the relationship between us to ourselves. Now, we get distracted. We can get distracted by so many things that are happening around us, whether it is external, internal. So how do you deal with these kind of obstacles, or with these kind of challenges, right? With these kind of challenges, because what happens when we challenge ourselves? We expand. So how do we deal with this? Well, first of all, it's taking care of ourselves. First of all, is to take care of ourselves. What nourishes? And I'll tell you from my experience this past week. I was in San Francisco, and I was in a place called Sausalito, and it is just across the city from the other side, and it's just pure nature. And pure nature to connect. Pure nature, when I say pure nature, and I will post other things later on, you see a family of deers just, for example, running around here and eating. You see how the mountain, you don't have to go far away to be in nature. I mean, any place almost has nature, except for if you're really in a dense city. But any place has nature. And, I was standing in front of the ocean and seeing the mountains, how the mountains are beautifully merging into the ocean. Do you think about how does the ocean expands itself to allow the mountains to be embedded in it? When I move my hand, how does the air moves and expand for me to be able to move my hand? Right? And we see these examples also in the Torah, also in one of the 10 plagues that were on Egypt. In the darkness, it was said is the darkness was so dense that people could not move. It was very, very dense. It is a similar feeling of when you're dreaming and you cannot move. You feel you want to run and you cannot move. So everything here is in motion, right? So if I move my hand, the air moves itself to accommodate my hand and the space it's in it. The mountains I've seen that are going into the ocean, and the tip of the mountain is outside of the water and the rest is underneath. The water is just around it, and everything is merging and synchronized so perfectly, so harmoniously. So why can't we be as harmonious as nature? Well, we have all kind of things, and technology, and all kind of toys, and all kind of things that are, and ego, and also spiritual ego, physical ego, all these kind of things that are taking us out of that harmony. So in any time that there is a doubt about what you do, about how you feel about who you are, about how you feel about what you're doing, about a new starting of a new project, now in April, or in any other month. But we're talking now in April, and this time where there is a push, it's like giving you a 20 feet or 100 feet start when you are running a marathon, right? You're getting a start, you're getting a push, you're getting your winds that pushes your sail, giving you a forward, giving you a forward way to start, like a way to start your journey, right? So month of Nisan is a month of miracles, and this is also the month where we are, where we Jews are celebrating Passover. Passover when, oh, hello Tamara, Shabbat Shalom, to put my, to read you. So thank you for being here. So month of Nisan is when we're doing Passover. Now I mentioned earlier is the beginning of the year. Unlike Rosh Hashanah, which is in September, around September, this month is the calendar, the beginning of the calendar month, as it says in the Torah, the first month and the calendar, right? And September is more of the personal growth, for the personal growth of somebody, the self reflection, looking at our actions, looking at what we did. So this Nisan is the beginning of the year, and with the beginning of the year, there are the energies that come with that kind of constellation, with that kind of way of how things are. And so there is a huge opportunity for us to evolve and to start something new. So Nisan comes from Nitzan, comes from the beginning of things. And the relationships between us to others can flourish as well. Also a relationship that went sour, for example, if a relationship went sour, be the first to be out there and to say, hey, you know what, if it is really serving you, right? Be the first one to give your hand. Be the first one to put your hand out and to welcome that person back, because we're all fickle. Bottom line, humans are fickle. The person who will say that you are the mostest and the greatest and the wonderfulest, and gives you all these compliments, social media or on the street, or how great you are, is the same person that will tell you how horrible you are. And how you disappointed them. Why? Because there are expectations. Again, we are fickle. So it is to really to take everything in proportion. To take everything in proportion. If somebody thinks that you are all that great, if somebody makes you all that great, and you believe them, the next step is probably not going to be as bright as they put it out to be. So it is really kind of how do you play with that? So in this time, because of these new beginnings, there are also new kindlings. You can rekindle a relationship, revisit a relationship, because we're all going through transformations. We're all going through, hopefully, we're all going through transformations. We're all going through shifts, through changes. And we need to keep and remember that you today are not the same one that you were 5 years ago. The same thing, the other person that you maybe have maybe a discord or a disagreement about something, that person is probably not the same as the person they were 5 years ago. Now, it doesn't mean that that person now is right for you. Nevertheless, that person has gone through some shifts, just like you went through some shifts, just like we all been through some shifts. It is the connections, it's these relationships that we're here to nourish and to nurture. Also, what I talked about earlier about these opportunities. It is a relationship with ourselves. It is a relationship with ourselves that allows us to be in this place of abundance and to create and to trust our process, to trust our fate, to trust where we are, to trust all this. You know, in the portion, in Passover, and we'll talk about this more, we'll get close to Passover, but in Passover, God is saying in the parasha, God is saying, and I remembered your good days, right? And so the sages are talking about remembering good days is like when God told the Israelites to leave Egypt, he told them, come on, go, come on, let's go out of Egypt, come on, it's time to go now, don't wait. So they went out in hastiness, and that's why also the bread was not able to rise up, and that's why the unleavened bread, because they weren't able to bake the bread fast enough, and they had to leave with the matzah, which is this flat flat. Sometimes it tastes like cardboard, but hey, it grows on you. So it is the unleavened bread, right? So when you trust somebody, what does happen? When you trust somebody, you trust the person. The person tells you, "Oh, you know what? Come with me. We're going. It's a surprise. I'm taking you a couple of miles from here." You trust the person. It's a person you know, is a friend, a family member, a brother, a sister, a lover, a wife, whatever that is, a husband, anybody. You trust that person. You trust that person because of your trust. That person repays. How does the person repays? With their kindness in the relationship, with their respect in the relationship, with their love in the relationship, right? Well, it's the same thing. What happened here? The Israelites trusted. We said, we're going. We trust that God will provide us. Now, because it is logical, what did God ask them to do? What did Moses told them to do? Come, we're running away, we're going to the desert. Now, if you would say, okay, we're going here, green, nature, trees, one would say, okay, well, at least maybe here I'll be able to hunt, to take some berries from trees, to maybe find animals and so forth. But no, I told them let's go to the desert. So when you put your trust in somebody, and the somebody is actually the closest somebody to you is you, right? So when you put a trust in you, when you put a trust in your gifts and your abilities and the opportunities that are being presented for you, you will soar like there is no tomorrow. You will soar like this red-tailed hawk that I saw in this week. You'll just soar, and you won't even think about it. Do you think when you walk? No, you don't. You just walk. Do you think when you sing? If you sing, no, you sing. Yes, of course, you practice, but you sing. Someone tells you open your mouth, you open your mouth. So the trust in the relationship between you and you is what is fueling everything. Now, it is not about you per se, and let's say you want to achieve this TV spot or be on this program or let's talk business or have this kind of a relationship. And how many times do you find yourself, if you had, you look at somebody and you said, you know what, I'm not going to start with this person because they probably don't like me or they probably don't think I'm that great. What is happening here? You created another entity. You created another entity between you and where you want to be. And this is Yetzer Hara. This is the evil inclination talks in the Torah and in Judaism. It is not something with wings. It's that imagination. And that imagination is so powerful because that imagination, like every other thing, that imagination can create like a fork in the road. When you get a fork in the road, where do you go? You go left or you go right? Right? You go left or you go right. You have a fork in the road. And then you have this double creation of a relationship myth, of a relationship golem, so to speak, that is putting like if I want to reach that person or to be in that place, I have this veil that is right in front of me that I created. And that veil is the relationship between me and there. I'm trying to put my hand over there so you see what I'm saying there, but okay, now I'm putting it. So between me and there, right? There is something. So it is not about me and there, that person or that what I want to achieve. It is the relationship between us. It is not new that astronomers and biologists, they found it is about the relationship between the organs and the relationship between stars that is creating that field of energy, that field of relationship field, like a relational field, a relationship field between us. That is what is moving things, right? So this month, we have this opportunity to create this relationship field between where we are and between where we want to be, or who we want to be with, or who do we want to meet. So there is this field that is created. And this is a time to create that field. This is a time to heal that field. To heal that field from all our past thoughts, our past beliefs, our past emotions, our past everything. Our past, that's why it's in the past. And this time with Nitzan, with the blooming of this seed, of this plant, we are reblooming. You know, the weather is changing, the trees are coming to life again, there is more light, there is more creation. This is the Nitzan, this is the blooming of a flower. This is the time of this month, now, before the spring. How are we creating this relationship field, this relational field between us and that, and that where we want to be, or that person who we want to be with. Just want to read here. Yes, wonderful, Tamara. Yeah, working with groups is fascinating, because what is happening in groups, when we work in groups, yes, we have the individual pieces, the individual people that are sitting in a circle or in a square or whatever. But what it is, it's the relationship between me and the other person, and the other person, the relationship to the circle, and relationship from the person near me to the person across of him, and the person and me in front of me. It is all this relational field, this relationship field. And when we are in that field, when we see that field, and we can feel that field, you can feel the expansion in your body. And when you can feel the expansion in your body, that's harmony. And harmony is also right here. So when we want to bring ourselves back to this harmonious place, come here. Come to a place that is detached from everything that we created. Come to nature, to a place where everything is detached from what we created, but everything is here harmoniously with what God created. Let's have this wonderful month, this wonderful Shabbat, this wonderful Passover that is upon us. And thank you very much, and thank you for being here. Much love, Shabbat Shalom, and I shall see you soon. Bye-bye.